Hey guys, hope you're having a great day today. And so one of the last videos I did, which was the best songs of every Metallica album, that picked up quite a bit of steam. It has over 40,000 views, and I want to thank you all for that. And so today we're going to be ranking all of them. So first, I'd want to say there aren't any bad Metallica albums. There aren't any bad ones. It's just there are a lot that are better than others. And in the last parts, with their last four albums, and Justice for All, Master Puppets, Ride the Lightning, and Kill 'Em All, it is a very close one. No, I am doing only the studio albums. I'm not doing any of their live stuff because that's kind of a pain in the ass to rank. So I'm just going to be doing that. And so we're going to be ranking them worst to best. So just keep watching and have a good one. So in last place, this may not be a surprise to most Metallica fans, as this is a pretty hated album. Came out in 2003 when the band was going through a lot of problems. Hetfield was going into in and out of rehab. So it does have quite a bit of sentimental value to it, but overall the snare drum sound has been the butt of the joke for 20 years. I mean, to be honest, I didn't really think it was that bad. But yeah, what I had a problem with is that the vocals were Five Finger Death Punch type. I mean, I don't really got nothing about Five Finger Death Punch, but yeah, just their lyrics are kind of cringe. And for Saint Anger, their songs would go on for over 7 minutes, and it's not like a metal ballad like Fade to Black or One or something like that. It'd be the same thing over and over again. So overall, I'm gonna have to put Saint Anger last. Although they do have a couple good songs on it, such as Frantic, I guess, but bad album. Alright guys, please don't hate me on this, cause Saint Anger was the only album I'd considered bad. The Black Album is not a bad album, but I'm going to have to give it a low rating. Well, this was a very significant album because this is basically Metallica went from a smaller thrash band to the entire fucking world knowing them. Literally everybody you know now knows them. Almost everybody. This is insane. This was from their thrash roots to the big leagues. One thing though is that they kind of went a little bit softer with their music. They went from their 7-minute metal ballads such as Fade to Black, One, Sanitarium, back to something which is your 4 minutes low interest kind of rock song. It was more of a rock album than a metal album. I'd say it was close to Reload, but Reload has some more diverse songs on it. So overall, the Black Album's going to have a kind of a bad rating. Sorry, guys. So Reload, as I had mentioned before. So Reload and Load are technically the same album, because it was a 2-album thing, but they just recorded the songs and put it on 2 different albums. I don't know why it was too much for one album, but the only reason I'm putting Reload under Load is just that there's more songs on Load than I like than Reload. Reload is kind of a forgotten album, to be honest. They turned more into a glam metal band. You see Motley Crue and shit, and Metallica was looking kind of like that. They cut their hair, which was extremely controversial for the time. But the only real reason that I put this higher than the Black Album is probably The Unforgiven 2. The Unforgiven 2 is a masterpiece. I really love The Unforgivens. So yeah, this is also gonna get a low rating, but I think it kind of deserves a bit of one, to be honest. Alright, now we have Load, which was the first one, and they did Reload, which is like released a year later. So this was 1996. So this is when they cut their hair and was starting to get into like the glam metal with like a lot of eyeliner and crap. And this is pretty controversial. I personally wasn't like a fan of that, but however, some of the music is good, like the Hero of the Day, for example. They have kind of more of a bluesy sound to their stuff, which is pretty good. I mean, it's nothing compared to what they were at, but some of the stuff was pretty good. However, some of it was kind of crappy. So I'm kind of up and down with this album, to be honest. Alright, now we have Hardwired to Self-Destruct. This was their most recent album, and unfortunately, probably their last. This was a great album because it was basically like their first album. It was the thrash in your face kind of sound that Metallica fans loved. Unfortunately, like some of it was like them trying too hard to be like Kill 'Em All, but overall, this is like a very great album. It had the very thrashy sound to it. Overall, it's a really good album. Now we got the good old Death Magnetic. This was a very significant album for Metallica because they had gone from 2003, or before 2003, probably like 1997 or so. They were all down in the dumps. They were at each other's necks. They were about to break up, and Saint Anger was kind of a disappointment for most Metallica fans, but this is their redemption. This showed that Metallica was in the game still. The songs had a very unique sound while still sticking to their thrash roots, and Cyanide, The Day That Never Comes, are both amazing songs. Oh, let's not forget the Unforgiven 3 too. So this is an amazing album. Now we've reached the big four Metallica albums, and in fourth place comes And Justice for All. This was a very significant album. After losing their bassist Cliff Burton, nobody thought Metallica would ever be the same. This basically was their tribute to Cliff, turning down the bass and just having more of a poetic style to the lyrics. It was a very emotional type album, including a lot of songs like Dyer's Eve, One, which are amazing songs. The only drawback to this is that many of the songs on this follow the same kind of formula, but overall, this was an amazing album. Now, this album, Master Puppets, is the jack of all trades. It has the thrash songs, it has the more metal ballad type songs, it has like Master of Puppets, which, although listened to like, it's overrated, to be honest, now, because Stranger Things, great song, but there are also a lot of underrated songs, such as Sanitarium, The Thing That Should Not Be, Battery. There is a lot of great songs on this album that a lot of people don't know about. Those are more of the mainstream songs that were on the album, but there are a lot of underrated songs on this album. It was a great album, and although some parts of it are overrated, it is still a great album. Alright, now we have Kill 'Em All. Their first album, and arguably they're one of their best. This album was their very first, with Dave Mustaine doing most of the lead guitar before he was kicked out and replaced by Kirk Hammett. The work is amazing. The sound of it is thrash in your face. It's great. And Hetfield's vocals were just like the perfect scream. They were like thunderous. It was insane. Their albums were songs. They were fast, they were heavy, they were just, it was amazing. this comes in second for me, but for many Metallica fans and probably also Megadeth fans, this is number one for them. Alright, we've reached the top album. Overall, this is the best. It has their thrash songs, it has their like ballads like Fade to Black, it has the heavy stuff, Creeping Death. It's honestly the jack of all trades. I had said that with the Master of Puppets album, but overall, I feel this has the better songs. It has like the better choice. Overall, it has like a very good theme to it. So this one I rank first, and a lot of the songs I listened to here on when I first got into Metallica. And no, I didn't actually like hear just a bunch of Enter Sandman and crap. This was probably the first album I heard. Like Trapped Under Ice is one of the first Metallica songs I've ever heard, which is interesting. But yes, this is my first album for me. Please subscribe if you haven't, and thanks for watching.